after building relationships in this industry, in the real estate industry, I've learned some of the nuances on both the real estate agency side and the lending side. And we have a lot of conversations with mortgage originators, and Matt is a mortgage originator, but he is with First Horizon Bank. And that brings a unique perspective and some tools that not every mortgage originator has. And so check out this conversation with Matt Helling if you want to learn how to utilize a banking product or a banking service when it comes to buying your next home. Well, let's introduce you one more time, because the last thing I want to talk about is marketing. I love marketing. It's my favorite part of the business. It's relationship based for me. Everybody has a different way to generate business. And as a mortgage lender, similar to maybe a real estate agent, you have some specific ways you can generate business, but bankers have a unique perspective. And so I know why when people ask me, do you think I should join this bank or that mortgage company? I always give them the caveat about why banks are a great place to work. And it's the relationships you can build within the bank and also outside of the bank. So how have you used the bank relationships for you to help enhance and grow your business?
The Iberia Bank was so involved in New Orleans that it just made it really easy. I grew up in North Carolina, went to LSU, but I didn't have a very big network when I got to New Orleans outside of my LSU friends. So the bank, once I had been there for 5 years, people just started to assume that I was from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, you stepped into a local footprint. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They sponsor everything. So, nonprofit events every night, sweet tickets every weekend. It was just a good place to be as a young person.
Well, I know, a lot of the banking relationships that I have stem from me and you getting connected, right? With a lot of the people that we're good friends with still that are in the banking world. And I know that you spent a lot of time networking within the bank in order for you to build relationships with the commercial people that are meeting with business owners that also needed a loan, which was interesting to see. And it worked really well for you. And I think that we've had a lot of conversations about, what you've asked me, what does the other side look like when you're working in the mortgage world? You don't have a bank associated with it. And I love the idea of just utilizing the relationships inside.
Oh, yeah. Millard Morrison, Todd Johnson, Louis Bartels made my career.
Yeah. Those are exactly the three guys.
So Iberia Bank had a management training program.
Yes, I remember I heard about this.
And every year they would have, 15 to 20 young people, and they would put them through credit school, and then they would, some would go into portfolio management, like on the commercial side, and then others would go into retail banking or small business banking. And so you just had a huge crop over this 5-year period of, young 22 to 25-year-olds who were making their way through the bank and advancing in their careers, and we all became friends, and it was
Yeah, you still do business.
It's been cool.
So they were in a different department. Is that what?
Yeah, so they were just they were working in business. They were all working in business banking, and I was the one guy in mortgage.
Okay, and that's what I love, because it's you're stepping into a network, mm-hmm. right? And you're using that network to really build allies to reciprocate, right? Mm-hmm. And help folks. And so, because I'm assuming that not only did they send you business, but you sent them business as well, right? That's what those relationships look like. And I think that's huge. And then, so it takes me back to the mentor you had who gave you the stationery. Uh-huh. And it sounded like what he did was he just took your shoulders and squared them in the direction. He's all right, now go this way and do this, mm-hmm. right? And and that was one of the things he said to do, right? It was something along those lines.
The bank business that he recommended that you go do in order for you to build a relationship. And look, from a mortgage lender standpoint, to go to some of these banks that don't have a mortgage department, it's another lead generating source that you can
brilliant.
Reach out to.
One of my favorite books is called The Go-Giver by Bob Burg, and really small book. It's I've read it 20 plus times. My favorite to refer to other people. And it talks about the 5 laws of stratospheric success, and one of them says that our income is directly related to the size of the problems we solve. And so I just love to go find problems. That's a problem. They have a branch that doesn't have mortgage lender, right? Great. Mm-hmm. I would love to be that for you, right?
I think also too, from to know that their clients are going to get taken care of, and Matt mentioned this earlier today. It was a way for him to build relationships with the real estate agents without having to actually have the agents know or trust him at first, because the bankers were going to say, hey, this is who you're going to use internally as a mortgage lender. Right. And then you can get to know these people after you've shown that you do a good job. And you know, now y'all have a huge impact on I know Chris Brinson, your guy you sit next to at the bank, who's also a mortgage lender. Y'all have built relationships with most of the real estate groups in New Orleans, especially the ones you want to do business with, and they know that you guys, when y'all walk in, you dress like you are a professional banker. You give that service, and I think that goes a long way to continuing to grow, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you were I was reading your favorite ways to market. That's always been going into a room with Chris Brinson is my favorite way to market.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's polished. He carries himself well. He's eloquent. He's professional. When he was 24 years old, he was running a pretty big division of Countrywide Mortgage.
Yep.
And so, I mean, he was just a superstar at a young age.
And he's a presence when he walks in. I mean, Matt's a tall guy. Chris is a tall guy. He's always looked super nice and put together. I always feel a little inadequate when I walk in the room with these guys because they've got their shirts tucked in and they're looking nice. But I think at this point, people expect they're going to get what they get from me. But
I know that's y'all's company policy, though, tonight.
yeah, you have to be a little more laid back. But I mean, it goes a long way in New Orleans, right? Smaller community, but it is a business-based community. And people expect that type of professional in some instances. And I think it goes a long way when y'all walk in the room. People know what kind of person they're going to get by looking at you guys and knowing how you carry yourself, which is great. Well, cool, man. This was fun having you on, and I hope that every doctor in town sends Matt Helling their loan, or gives them at least the opportunity to market to them.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having me.